Hello everybody, Defense here, and welcome to, my creative world. We're starting off in here today so that I can show you guys a little bit of stuff and try and work out a problem I'm having for builds that we're going to be putting into our survival world, the township of Miraheim. I think that's what I'm going to call it, a township. Yeah, a township sounds right. So we're going to do that. This section is the area I've been working in. As you can see, this is our villagers from last episode. This is what we had set up there. This was my plan on quantities. All of that changed because I decided to have an emerald production floor. But I set up the villagers, found out what their trades were. That was unrelated. This was me actually seeing if I could use iron golems for a zombie pigman farm. And it works, but at the same time it doesn't. So we'll, that's gonna come back. But today, or this weekend I should say, this is actually later on Sunday, I have been doing some other stuff. I want feathers, because feathers are an item I can trade. I went through and wrote down all of the trades that I have access to. I have sticky notes, I keep them at my desk. Those are just for shorthand stuff, but there's a lot of stuff, and a lot of it can be farmed. And I have them written down here. So, for example, the fisherman is string. The toolsmith, I can do iron and flint. Flint isn't as easily farmed, but we'll deal with that another time. The Fletcher is actually great, because the Fletcher will take sticks, which I can get from my bamboo farm, string, which I can get from a spider farm, and our current mob farm, and then it also does feathers. So he's got 3 good trades we can work with on that. And then the librarian has paper and ink sacks, which are both easily farmable. We're actually going to be hopefully prepping the stuff for an ink farm very soon. I have the area laid out where I want it. And then everybody obviously knows the farmer. It's potato, pumpkin, wheat, carrots, and melon. Oh, and then there's also the priests. Flesh, gold, and rabbit feet are 3 things that I know I can farm. I've never farmed rabbit feet before, but I can actually use a similar design to this. I'll go through this in a second. Nether wart and glass bottles are new, along with scoots. I know how to make a scoot farm. I don't know if that's something we're going to do right away, but the more bits I have that can be farmed, I think the better it'll be. I just don't know the rate at which scoots get produced, and I don't want to create a massive area for it. But as I said, glass bottles and nether wart are easy. We have a desert, so we can always mine all that up and turn it into sand over and over and over again. And then, obviously, nether wart is very easily farmable. I had a couple different design iterations. I have literally just been making these farms, honestly, most of the weekend. Because I wanted a feather farm, so I'm like, oh, you know what, I'll just do this, have them grow up, go up and drown, and then the items drop. And then the first one went up and drowned, and it went, oh yeah, everything floats now. And I don't know how I'm going to get the items. Aside from me standing here, I don't know how I'm going to get the items through that, because you'll see it'll come up. I have the animals turned down for obvious reasons. We've got almost 50 back here, probably another 20 up here, those there, sheep, all that. So he eventually starts suffocating, and then his stuff stays. But the problem is you don't always get feathers, and that's what the main point of this farm is. So I came over here and ran through multiple iterations of trying to design this, and using hitboxes, I finally, well, not that I figured it out, but I remembered something. So I watch, obviously, a lot of different YouTubers who do Minecraft, because I enjoy watching Minecraft. That's kind of why I do what I do. And I think it was a Pixel Riffs episode I shouldn't say a long while back, that used a carpet. And like, I had been playing around with a lot of different ways to try and keep him out. And then I had hopped on over to YouTube, and I was just kind of scrolling through, and I saw the thumbnail that is literally like just looking at it like this. You know what I mean? And then it hit me, because I remembered in that episode he talks about how the chicken hitbox is at the body, not at the head. So we missed it a moment ago when one of them grew up, but if you look, we can actually use these guys. If you look, these guys, their hitbox is also at the shoulder, but because they're higher, they grow higher. So what you do is you put this carpet on top of the slab, and it makes it so that this guy cannot pick anything else up. And you just give him a sharpness, looting, 3 sword. I don't think it takes durability damage. I haven't seen anything like that. So he's been doing this just while I've been kind of fiddling around with these. And I think it works. I might end up doing like 4 of these. The only thing that's holding me back is I have to find these guys. I have to find out where my foxes are in the area and get a couple of them in. But if you look, as I said, it is pretty slow. This has probably been like 2 hours. Honestly, probably more than 2. I think you get about a stack of feathers an hour. So it's been a little over 4 hours, closer to 5. So I haven't fully tested that, but as I said, once you get 4 going, and you could also, if you want, feed multiples in, because, yeah, you could feed 1 in from the side, and depending on which launch circuit you use like this, you could probably fit more, but I haven't fiddled around with that stuff yet. I'm going to figure out where I want to put this before I decide how many I want to make. And it's not going to be in the town proper. None of this will be, because the farms, animals aren't in town proper in this kind of, not F3N, F3B. So I decided, hey, let's start off with a sheep farm today. And I just kind of went with the design I'd used before, which was this one right here. It does its thing, senses it down here, flips it on up. Every time one of these guys eats the grass, it does it. I then switched over to this, which would do it, pop this up, and fire it a bunch of times. And I decided, that kind of works, but I don't 100% like it. Because it just wasn't firing enough. It'd pop up, like do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like drop back down. So then I decided I'm gonna have the minecart running the whole time. Why not just have detector rails? So in there, I put down a detector rail with a repeater that'll flip it to this torch and tell that guy to fire. And I thought that was a good idea in my head, and I thought, hey, we could do that, and we could also combine these 2 systems here, which would rapid fire them, and then that worked, but the problem was only one of these guys can eat the grass at a time, which made it a bit difficult to get them going. So I thought then, hey, let's rock a piston feed tape, and I set everything up, I got it going, and what's holding me back right now is this thing gets an obviously this is put backwards now because I just put it back and wasn't paying attention. That gets an update every time new grass moves in front of it, so unless I made a big timing circuit here, it wouldn't work. And I had actually just thought of a great idea for this. So let me tear this little section here out. This here needs to be fed into, let's actually get rid of all of that because I don't need it. Boom, boom. I need comparator, hopper, minecart, and minecart hopper. So if I go like so, I'll just do that. For now, I'm just going to do that just because this is going to be a little weird. I'm going to go like so, and my brain has 2 ideas. I can either pull the signal out of here, so every time something eats, it gets picked up. Oh, actually, no, this isn't gonna work either, because I have to... Alright, well, that's not gonna work. I might have to have 2 separate systems working here. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys what's been going on in my brain. He looks like a little man. He's got like his legs, his arms, and his head. That actually looks funny. But yeah, I have to work a little bit more on this piston feed tape design because this is what I want to use. I just gotta figure out how to make it work. So we might build it today, we might not. If I don't build it today, or even if I do and you know of a better way to do this, please do let me know in the comments down below. But I'm gonna hop us back over to the actual world because I have a couple other things that I want to do to show you a couple of the bits we did off camera. So let me hop on over there and show you what we got. So as you guys might know, not last week but the week before, we did a stream in the Nether and I died, and I had lost everything except for 2 of my tools and my boots and my pants. I'm wearing a temporary helmet right now that I had found in the end, so I still do have to top off some of my gear. But as you'll see, I have all of my tools and 12 netherite ingots. I decided to swing on into the Nether the other day while I had a little bit of free time and just kind of grind out a little bit of netherite. It's actually very calming, except for when the piglins, or the hoglins? No, the piglins? Yeah, the piglins. The hoglins are the hogs, the piglins are the pig people. Huh. I'll remember it eventually, without asking myself. But yeah, so we did that, and I ended up getting, I think it was 9 more ingots worth. So, let's see, it takes 4 ancient debris to make each of these. So, 48 ancient debris to make all of this, not including the 8 that are already in this. So we have 56? Yeah, 56 total ancient debris farmed so far, I think. Let me check. We should be able to see that, right? In statistics, general items. Alright, we're getting close. There we go, 55. 55. Alright. Must have miscounted somewhere. I don't know. Brain not work. But, so we've got all that, and that was actually all of it. I was storing my spare pieces in there. So we've got all of it here, and what I want to do is put all of them, so like this is still good, and these pants are still good. And I'll have 2 left over to do something with. I don't know yet. We'll probably end up going and mine some more. But as I said, I want to get a better helmet before I top it off. And then I think everything's the top that it can be. That could probably get thorns, but I can add it on afterwards. Same thing with the boots. I think that's the only thing I can add to it is thorns. Everything else is topped off. I think these were some of the first things I made. I also needed a name for my my pants. And then... yeah, Fortune 5, Sharpness. This could probably go up 1. Fire Aspect. This is just kinda... well, this is my current sword. I could probably make a better sword, but for now we'll use that. But I think everything else is good. So, let's hop on in here. We'll do that. That. I might grab... there's another thing in the vanilla tweaks that kinda lessens this marking on here. And I think I might do it because it kind of makes it look dirty. Serious dedication. What's that one? Use another right ingot to upgrade a hoe and then reevaluate your life choices. No, hoes are very useful now. Not that they weren't useful before, but I always had a diamond hoe before, which was always great. So I'll keep Shiny the Unending. That's one of my other... yeah, I named that one. But yeah, I need some names. So we've got the Multiplier, which is our fortune pick, Diggy Diggy, which is our digging pick, and Silky Smooth, which is obviously our Silk Touch pick. So if you guys have any other fun names for other bits, let me know. I think we're just missing... so yeah, I'll have to figure out what I want to call the sword. The Sword of Infinite Fire. I don't know. I haven't even put mending on it. But yeah, we'll be able to add all that stuff later. All I've been doing for XP has been trading with villagers to repair my tools. You know, let's do my chest plate. Not that I ever wear it. Yeah, because that one's pretty maxed out too. So let me grab this. So I pretty much had enough to do all of my stuff because I didn't do my helmet. Boom. Yeah, that'll be nice to have. Alright, we'll put you away. And obviously you cannot do the Elytra. Let's put Diggy Diggy and the Multiplier away. Actually, don't I have a spare? No, I have a spare fortune. Alright, I'll have to get another Silk Touch pick going soon. But that'll be for when I top off the second layer of our villager area. Let me show you what I've done since. I don't know what I've done. I'm sorry today is really just kind of a catch-up bit. I've got a lot of talking to do today, but I'm going to hop right into building after this. But everybody's in. One master, a novice, a novice, a novice, master toolsmith. I have not traded with the farmers at all because I don't have any farms for them. But all of these guys are masters, and this is one of the things, is if I can get those, I'll be able to get that. And there's some really easy farms for it. And that's another thing, by the way. I know I can hit these guys, with, I'm trying to have a conversation here, wall. I know I can hit all these guys with zombies a couple of times to drop their trades down to nothing. I'm not going to do that. I might do it once. I might bring in a zombie and hit each of them once. I'm fine with that. That's a game mechanic. I think the rest of it is broken, where you can continuously do it to lower their trades over and over and over again. I personally think that's a little broken, so I won't be doing that. I know a lot of people are and have been. I don't want to. So, I'm just not going to. And I think that's us caught up on everything. So, oh, I did portals on the nether ceiling. And I'll talk more about that towards the end of the episode, but we're going to hop in and get a quick build done because I need to build something, so I'm not just sitting here chit-chatting all day. So let me grab some stuff together, and we'll hop on over and get a nice build done. I thought it'd be good to hop on in and kind of breed up the sheep here, so that's what I'm going to start doing. And while I was waiting, I decided, hey, you know what, I will time-lapse this. I don't know if I'll use it, but I will time-lapse it so I have it. And while I was waiting, I decided to start building up this area over here. This is something normally I do in a stream, but I decided, hey, I've got about 2 hours to kill breeding all these sheep up because I wanted... well, I need 64 for the setup I'm using because I'm going to use that same build that I showed you guys. And I'm either going to stack it or put it in like a clover and have the storage in the middle. I'm undecided yet. We'll have to look at it and kind of figure it out off camera is what I'll end up doing. But as I said, while I was working here, I thought I'd kind of make the area start looking like what I want it to look like. So I had planned on making this area over here a wheat farm. And I think I'm going to do wheat and sheep. The sheep will end up... Obviously, there's going to be the sheep underground, but then there's going to be sheep that are just kind of hanging out on the surface. They're going to be doing their thing in big pasture areas. And I wanted to make everything look nice. So I started off with the wheat right next to the pen there. And a little bit later on, we do a couple more things. We do a path, which will end up getting changed up. This is just marked out where I wanted it placed. So I use the path blocks, but I do want to use... some of the other blocks, coarse dirt. I'm thinking the soul dirt. I think it's called soul dirt. The new stuff in the Nether there. So I want to end up using that as well, just to kind of make the trails look used, but not like manicured, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's the best way I can think of it. I've got an idea for a couple of different bridges, and at one point, it might even be right now, I start on a big pond in the middle of this place. Because I was going to cover up to the upper right area of the pen. In that hill, you'll see there's kind of like a cave that comes out of the side of the hill. And it has an area that's kind of uncovered with that cave. And I'm going to turn that into like a little underground river that comes out into this area, which will feed into the big pond. And then I'm going to have it come out of 2 spots of that pond to go down to the main river that runs along the top of our little farm area. I think this is the best way to describe it. So I'm going to do a lot of wheat around here, a lot of wheat on the top right side, and this land is a lot larger. I'll show you guys once we do get back on the server after this time lapse. And on the left, I'm thinking the left of the lake, I'm going to turn that into pasture, and I'm going to have a couple of sheep pens, and we'll have some sheep just kind of hanging out in the pastures. I have some ideas for, I can't remember what they're technically called, but they're the little like higher standing trough things that you put hay in. And I have an idea in my head on what we could build them to look like in here and make them kind of look functional. So I'm going to play around with that probably off camera before I do decide, but I will look for input if in the comments if you guys have any ideas on other bits we can add to these farms. Obviously there's going to be decorations, there's going to be rocks, trees, bridges, boulders, just stuff along those lines, maybe a couple of rock walls. I'm thinking a storage barn. I don't 100% know where I want to put it. I might put it closer to the farmhouse. Just because I feel that it'd be more of where they'd keep that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I might put a storage one over here to the left next to this final, the path here that I'm wrapping up just towards the end of this little time lapse. You guys will be able to see it. But I think everything ended up working out for me. So as I said, I want to get about 64 sheep to use plus some spares so that I can populate the pasture area. But those 64 I'm going to split up into the 16 different colors, and then I'm going to put one in each, and I'm going to run them through those machines when those machines are up and going. I did figure out the issues we were having there. I played around with it for probably another half hour, 45 minutes, before just deciding to give up on trying to come up with an idea and just using an etho hopper clock. It works. I was just trying to see if there was a different way I could do it. But I'll bring you guys over into creative to show you that build, and I'll show you this larger area here as is once we wrap up this time lapse, which as I say, is wrapping up right now. So I will see you guys back on the map in just a moment. I hope you guys enjoyed that little time lapse there. I had a lot of fun with it. I feel like I didn't get much done. You know, when I'm looking back at this, it's such a small area in my mind for what has gotten done. But yeah, you can see how big this area is. I don't know if I'm going to bring it all the way over into this chunk. I might just kind of chop it off here. I'm undecided. That'll be a future plan. I might actually do a cow pasture over here. I think that'd be nice. We'll have a sheep pasture up over here and a cow pasture over there. And kind of wheat everywhere in between. I think that'd be a cool concept. But as I was saying, it's going to be nice. We're thinking a small storage shed here, pasture here. The house is actually going to be up either on this side or on this side, or maybe right in the middle. I'm undecided on that, because I want to put a large barn next to it. So I might put a large barn right there, the house here, and then the whole project is going to be underneath, and I'll funnel the storage up. Actually, I'll probably stack them now that I think about it, and funnel the storage up into the barn right there, just so I have an above ground centralized storage area for all of the wool. But what I am going to do now is we're going to hop on over into the creative world so I can show you what I came up with design wise for this farm. It is very much the same. I tried out a couple of different styles on how to just kind of handle everything, and as I had said, I ended up deciding to go with Etho Hopper Clock. So ooh, it's a little loud. It does get the job done. Every time this thing fires, it'll do that. I might shorten the timers just because there's so many in there. I might even go with something else, so if you guys do have a different idea, please do let me know. It'd be very much appreciated, because I don't 100% know what I want to do here. As I said, this works, so I'm fine with it, but timing wise, I think there could be more. So we have that. Ignore this over here. This was me. I was like, oh, I'll build up a breeder, and this probably could have just been the way we sheared them if we just made everything out of grass, but I'm not too worried about it. And while I was breeding them in here, I thought, hey, what if we just automate this with wolves? And then I found out how long it takes baby sheep to grow up. For whatever reason, in my survival world, they seem to be growing faster than here in creative, but the wiki does say 20 minutes. So this ended up not being useful. I had also had the same idea with, hey, what can kill cows? And I tried a Ravager, but I guess nothing kills cows except for players and Johnny. So, and I also found out that foxes and wolves don't get along, sadly. So don't do that, because I was going to be like, oh, I'll just combo a sheep and chicken farm. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Very bad idea. They start eating each other. So we we'll get this done in the next episode. I might dig the hole out beforehand. I might dig it out afterwards. I am undecided. I do have about a stack of grass, a sugar box of grass to use, so we should be good on that, but I am going to grab a bit more. These are put for maximum spread chance, because this can spread to it, this can spread to it. I don't remember, but I think that can spread to it. I think it's 2 diagonally, but I am unsure, but it can go down 1 and up 2, or down 2, up 1. That one I don't remember. But either way, I don't 100% need this edge, which honestly I'll probably end up taking it off, just because I think it'll look nicer without it, and it'll fit into a smaller hole, and I want it to dig out so much. So that is where we're going to leave it today. I want to thank you guys for stopping in. I hope you did enjoy. And if you guys do like seeing a little bit more of my design process here, please do let me know, and I can show it off a bit more. It's not something I've really done before, so let me know how you guys feel on that topic, because there's plenty in this world, even though it is kind of broken. I think I explained that in a video before, but unrelated. But yeah, as I said, I want to thank you for stopping in. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope you have a nice night, day, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. This is Defense. I hope to see you again soon. Peace. Please send help. They're trying to eat me. Please. Nah, it's all good, guys. They're not trying to eat me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.